Good afternoon, grade 12s. Welcome to our lesson. We'll be looking at quality performance today. We started quality performance sometime last week. Welcome to our ninth lesson. I welcome you all, guys. My name is Hector S. Nkosi, and this is what we'll be looking at today. Right. So now, boys and girls, what we'll be looking at today, basically, I just need my highlighter here. All right. So I need a green color. All right. So basically with your quality of performance, grade 12s, you need to be able to define quality, define the following concepts, of which majority of them we have dealt with them basically. Today we'll be looking at different things when it comes to quality performance basically. Right. So last week we looked at your functions and the quality indicators. We looked at total quality management. We also looked at your total quality management elements, right? That's what we looked at last week. So today we're doing a different thing. Basically, we need to continue. So I need to take you through to my next what you call to my next presentation basically so that I can show you what you need to look at for today, right? So basically, boys and girls, what we need to look at today, we looked at the functions. Basically, we looked at your management function. We looked at your production function. We also looked at your marketing function, your financial functions, and all your administrative function and stuff like that. Then, however, today, boys and girls, I want us okay, we also looked at the meaning of your total quality management, your total quality management and stuff like that. So we were still looking at what you call at the impact of total quality management elements on a large business, right? So I want us to continue here today and try to finish off this chapter by today if possible, right? So I did explain, okay, I need my highlighter this. All right. So I did explain all the positives, advantages, and all the negatives when it comes to your large businesses, the impact on a continuous improvement to process and systems on a large businesses. We looked at the positives and the negatives basically. Now, what I want us to look at today, I want us to look at the impact of continuous skills development in education and training on a large business. Why do we need trainings in a large business? What are the good things about the trainings? What are the bad things about the trainings, basically, right? So basically, we need to know, boys and girls, let's start with the positives first. We know that large businesses have human resources department dedicated to skills development, right? Also, your human resources expects ensure basically that the training programs are relevant to increased customer satisfaction. Remember, the more guys you do this training is the more you're going to satisfy the customer satisfaction, right? Also, the ability to afford specialized or skilled employees, basically, right? So, in order for you to have skilled employees, you must have the ability to afford specialized or skilled employees. Also, large businesses could conduct skills audit to establish the competency or education levels of staff performing work, which could affect the quality of products or processes positively. We know, guys, the more qualified workers we have, the more competency our business is going to run, basically. So the education and training basically helps, or what you call yes, actually helps our employees to develop themselves better or more, right? Also, maybe able to hire the qualified trainers to train the employees on a regular basis, basically, right? And the more skilled workers we have, the more efficient employees we're going to get as a company or business. Now, But what are the bad things about trainings and qualified and not just not qualified, but and skills development workers in a large business? We know, guys, in a large business, there's a poor communication systems in large businesses may prevent effective training from taking place. So poor communication is very important because in a large business, guys, we've got so many big management. Like I'm going to make an example with a school, right? A school is also a large business, basically, because we know school it is a business as much as it's helping us to get a certain qualification and stuff, but it is a large business. But what is a disadvantage about the training and education system in a large business is that, as I want to make an example with a school, we know sometimes we get the information from the principal, right? The principal must tell the deputies must tell the HODs must tell the grade heads must tell the teachers. Can you see how many processes we need to pass before we can get the information? So just imagine if you've got a large business. Do you agree with me that basically the communication might not reach to you on time, and therefore that's the bad thing when it comes to a large there's a large communication, right? Also, boys and girls, your trained employees may leave for better jobs after they've gained more skills. So basically, what do I mean about that is when we speak about trained employees that may leave for better jobs after gained more skills, so you can train some of your employees, right? And the company can spend thousands and thousands of money for your training. Then what other employees do immediately after they get trained by the company, they use that as an advantage and they go apply for other better jobs because now they've gained enough skills. But can you see the business or the company itself has wasted its money to train someone who's not going to leave, who's not going to stay with them for so longer? So that will be seen as a disadvantage also in terms of um, uh, your training and education skills in a large business, right? Also, sometimes it demotivates employees if they do not receive recognition for training, right? So the another negative thing is that sometimes in a workplace they do offer trainings to people, to their staff members, to go train. But guys, if there is no sort of like a certificate of recognition, employees are going to get demotivated because no one is going to believe you in 10 years time or in 15 years time when you say you have trained for this but you don't have something that is tangible to show that you have trained for that. So you need to compensate your employees by maybe a certificate or a medal or trophy that they've actually attended this training and are very equipped to what you call to offer that thing basically. So if you don't offer any recognition, employees they get demotivated and they won't attend trainings basically. Also, another point, another negative about trainings in a large companies or businesses is that employees who specialize in narrowly defined jobs may become frustrated or demotivated basically, right? Also, employees may not be aware of the level of competency they should meet in order to achieve their targets, right? So it is also difficult for that, right? Also, another thing that we need to look at there, it may be difficult to monitor or evaluate effectiveness of training. So that can be tough also. Now, I want us to look at the impact on total clients or customer satisfaction on a large business. So, what are the positive things about customer satisfaction, right? We know that one of them, if I've satisfied customer needs, I'm going to look good in public, basically, right? That's one requirement, basically, but we'll look at those. Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. boys and girls. So let's see one of the positives about the customer satisfaction on a large business, right? We know that large businesses uses market research or customer surveys to measure or monitor customer satisfaction, right? Analyze customers' needs, basically, right? Also, we need to understand the continuously to promote a positive company image, right? A positive company image, very important. As I said, if we know how to satisfy our customer needs, it's a positive company image, right? So they may achieve a state of total customer satisfaction if the business follows sound business practice that incorporate in all stakeholders, basically, right? So also you must strive to understand and fulfill customer expectations by aligning cross-function teams across the critical processes, right? Also, it is to ensure that your cross-functional teams understand its core competency and develops or strengthen it, basically, right? Also, when we look at our customer satisfaction, positive things may lead to higher customer retention or loyalty, and the business may be able to charge higher prices, right? So we might be able to retain. So I love this. Customer loyalty and business may be able to charge higher prices, right? Large businesses may be able to gain access to global market if we've got a good customer satisfaction. So we can even sell our product or render the service abroad. Also, it may lead to increased competitiveness or profitability. Very good. Your competitiveness will increase and your profitability will also increase. Now, what are the negative things when it comes to customer satisfaction, right? So let's look at the negative things when it comes to the customer satisfaction, basically, boys and girls. Right. Mm. Now, we know that, okay, I need my highlighter. Where's my highlighter? Okay. We know that employees who seldomly come into contact with customers often do not have a clear idea of what will satisfy their needs, right? Also, your monopolistic companies have increased bargaining powers so that they not necessarily have to please customers, right? However, those are the negative things about the customer satisfaction in a large company or business. Not all employees may be involved or committed to a customer satisfaction. Very, very good, guys, right? If not everyone is not driven about the customer satisfaction, we know other employees are just negative in general. They're just coming to work just because they want cash, but they don't love what they're doing. So that thing can play a big role in the business as the customer satisfaction. It won't be satisfied enough because of other employees' attitudes. Now let's look at your financing and capacity. So let's look at the financing and capacity. So financing and capacity, basically, boys and girls, let's look at the positives or advantages. So we know that large business have sufficient financing to test everything before implementing, right? So that's your financing and activities. So we know that we need to test everything before implementing. They can afford to have systems in place to prevent errors in processes or defects in raw materials or products, right? Also, your financing and capacity on a large business must be able to afford product research or market research to gather information. Also, they can afford to purchase quality raw materials and equipment. Very important. Now, if you look at the negative things about your financing and capacity, If the demand for the company's product increases, orders begin to coming in faster than expected, and the company lacks the capital required to fund the production of the stock to fill the orders, right? Very important, guys. Sometimes if the product is in demand, like for example, I'm going to use the example of sanitizers because we're under corona and masks, and your face shield, all those things now that are in demand. So if the company's product increases, the demand increases, the order begin coming in faster than expected, and the company lacks the capital. Sometimes you cannot have lots of capital to produce lots of products. Like right now, guys, yesterday I went to a certain store, I won't name it, but I went to that store, I was going to look for a hand sanitizer, but for a specific brand, but it was not there because the demand is higher. Everyone is using that brand for that sanitizer. Like I was looking for their sanitizer and for their what you call hand wash, but I did not get it. So it is very important, boys and girls, to sorry, where are we? Okay, sorry, I just right. Yeah, we're here. So it is very difficult to get that product. And these rapidly growing companies can consume large amounts of capital as they can try to balance normal operations and expansions. So the bad thing is these large companies, basically, they can take an advantage that, oh, okay, even though we're not doing this, but because majority of these businesses, they do not have enough capital to produce it, therefore they can produce that product, right? Now I want us to look at the impact of monitoring and evaluating quality process in a large company. So now let's look at the impact when you monitor and evaluating the quality process, right? Quality process. So basically, boys and girls, here, let's look at the positives about monitoring and evaluating quality process. So it prevents product defects and minimize wastage or customer complaints. Good quality checks procedures minimize the replacement or breakdown of equipment, machinery on a regular basis, and it may be equipped to get things done right the first place. I mean, the first time, basically the first place, right? So also the monitoring and evaluating quality process also may equipped to get things done to the right time. Sorry, I'm repeating myself with this one. It also improves the performance and maintain the high quality standards, basically, guys. So if we do monitor what's happening, if we monitor our production, and we also evaluate the manner in which the quality of our product is being processed, right? Also, it improves the current and the future management of quality outputs, outcomes, or impact. Also, it provides a clearer indication about the quality aspects of the contributing to the achievement of goals or targets. Also, it helps us to modify interventions that may improve the efficient use of resources, right? Also, it supports the management to acquire information needed to make informed decisions about the processes. The cost of production is reduced as deviations from set standards can be corrected. Strategies are revised in order to improve the quality of the product and services or business's image. Right. So these more positive things about your what you call, excuse me, about your monitoring and quality processes. Also, it allows quality controls checks and procedures at a key points. Also, key performance indicators are carefully selected to monitor and evaluate the outcomes. The benchmarking is used to find the best practice in order to determine the competitive position of the business. Also, the quality cycle meet on a regular basis to evaluate the process in terms of quality. So these are more of your positive things when it comes to monitoring and evaluating qualities, right? Now, boys and girls, now I want us to look at the negatives when it comes to or disadvantages of your large business. Okay, we know that a large business often divide and departments work in silos basically. It is difficult to get everyone to communicate. We know, right, that in terms of communication or in terms of monitoring, it's just difficult because as other business, they work as per department, only to find out that this department works in first floor, the other department works in eighth floor, those big companies or businesses, right? It's just difficult to control stuff. And, also, it is often takes longer to detect problems, to respond to weakness, right? Also, it is not viable to check quality of all the products, right? So these are your negatives. Now, let's look at the application of the PDCA model in improving the quality, the quality of the products. Remember, we once touched on the PDCA, right? It stands for plan, do, check or analyze, act as needed. Now let's look at this PCDA in order to improve our quality of our product. We know P stands for plan. The business should identify the problem, do a plan for improvement to processes and systems, answer questions such as what to do and how to do it, plan the method and the approach, right? So this is what you get under planning. So guys, please, your PDCA model is very important. They like to ask it, guys, in more of your exam type questions. Do. So now you have planned, you must do on what you have planned. So the business should implement the changes on a small scale, implement the processes and systems, right? Here, you develop a plan for improvement to processes and systems. But here, you must implement the processes and systems, basically, boys and girls. Now, we must check or analyze now. So your 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 C stands for check, right? So now whatever you've implemented now, under the do, you have to do what? To check it and analyze it, right? So basically, use data to analyze the results of change. So you can use bar graphs, you can use any graphs, your pie charts and stuff like that, depending on what you're analyzing, right? So determine whether it made a difference or not, right? So once you do the data to do that for you, you would see whether does it make a difference or not. Also check whether the processes are working efficiently, right? Check whether the business should assess, plan, and establish if it's not working, if it's working, and if things are going according to the plan, right? Then now you need to act as needed, right? So should you encounter something wrong, you must act as needed, right? So you must institutionalize the improvement, um, diverse the strategy on how to continually improve. If change was successful, implement it on a wider scale. Very important, right? So continuously revise the process. So you need to check at the process now and then. You cannot just sit down and relax. So you need to check it now and then, now and then. Does it make sense, boys and girls? Now, it says, note, PDCA model forms part of your total quality management elements, continuous improvement to process and systems. Remember last week we've dealt with your total quality management elements. So your PDCA forms part of that. All right, last things now. Now the last things, there are two. Now here, boys and girls, I want us to look up. Sorry, I don't know why this is doing like that, but basically, boys and girls, yeah. Now, let's look at the role or importance of quality cycles as part of your continuous improvement to processes and systems. So basically, if we look at the roles here, uh, we need to be able to solve problems related to quality and implement improvements. We need to be able to investigate the problems and suggest solutions to management. We need to ensure that there is no duplication of activities or tasks in a workplace. We need to improve the quality of products or services productivity through the regular reviews or quality. We need to monitor or reinforce the strategies to improve the smooth running of businesses operations. We need to reduce costs of redundancy in a long run. We also need to increase the employees' morale or motivation. Your quality cycles discuss ways of improving the quality of work or workmanship. We need to contribute towards the improvement and the development of organization. We need to reduce cost and wastages efforts in a long run, increase the demand for products or services of the business, right? So there's just lots and lots of them when it comes to quality cycles as part of your continuous improvement. Now, boys and girls, also you must look at what? You must look at the impact of quality total management if poorly implemented by the business. So if your total quality management is poorly implemented by business, so how impact or what impact is going the business is going to get if they've implemented poorly TQM? Setting unrealistic deadlines that may not be achieved. Employees may not be adequately trained, resulting in a poor quality products. Decline in productivity because of stoppages. The business may be able to make the necessary changes of products or services to satisfy the needs of the customers, right? Also, boys and girls, we need to look at the business reputation or image may suffer because of the poor quality or defective goods. I like this point. Right? Now, the customer will have many alternatives to choose from, and the impact could be devastating businesses, right? The investors might withdraw investment if there is a decline in profits. Decline in sales as more goods are returned by unhappy customers. High staff turnover become a poor skilled development, right? Okay, now let's look at the last component of your total quality management. So it's this one. So the ways in which total quality management can reduce cost quality. So it's to introduce the quality cycles to discuss ways to improve the quality of work or workmanship, schedule activities to eliminate duplicate of tasks, share responsibility for quality output amongst management and workers. Because we know, guys, the more our products are, or the more quality we give, the expensive or the more cost we incur, basically. So what are the ways that the total quality management can reduce the cost of quality? Because we know automatically the word quality means more costs are incurred in that good or service. So how can we reduce those costs? So these are the pointers basically on how you can reduce those points. Those costs. So you must share responsibility of quality output amongst the management. Train employees at all levels so that everyone understand their role in quality management. So train everyone, guys, so that even if we need more people, if everyone is comfortable with anything in the company or business, therefore it's easy to take from another department to fasten up the work and to work faster, right? Also, we must work closely with suppliers to improve the quality of raw materials or input. We must improve communication about quality challenges or deviations so that everyone can learn from experience. we must reduce the investment on sorry, guys, about that. There was a technical issue, but basically, that's what I was trying to explain. Um, Also, you must improve the communication about the quality changes or deviations so that everyone can learn from the experience. You must also reduce the investment on expensive but ineffective inspection pro- procedures in the production process. Also, guys, the last thing of which is important, you must implement your proactive maintenance program for equipment or machinery to reduce or eliminate breakdowns. All right, grade 12s. Thank you so much for tuning in. Then that's it for today. And please study hard and always feel free to email me if you've got any questions. You can always email me at inkosihector28@gmail.com. Should you have any question, I'm here to help you, boys and girls. Please study hard. The whole of this week we'll be doing a revision, looking at the past papers because next week we're writing assessments as a school, as a STEAM digital school. I will be telling you tomorrow, Wednesday, and Friday on what we'll be writing on. But for now, that's it from my side. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a lovely evening. Goodbye.